Definitely the better version of it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the first ever Sooner Reviews. This week, we're going to be reviewing the movie TENET. That's right. Not some shit movie from 97 or a really good movie from 2015. No siree. We're reviewing a movie that just came out last week. Today I'm joined by Alex, James, Eric. That's right. We're moving quick, baby.
Fuck yeah.
Get her done.
Or we're going to move backwards.
So maybe we
Look at
already
the
did the
American.
first time too slowly, so now we're going backwards to correct it.
All right. So,
Make sure you put spoilers in here, because
no, we're not saying spoilers. We talked about this in the group chat. Wait, no,
Light
you weren't paying attention.
spoilers.
Not even light spoilers.
Light.
I want to go no spoilers.
All right.
We can do a spoiler review on the later podcast. Okay, Alex, when did you see this movie?
yesterday.
James, when did you see this movie?
About like 15 minutes ago.
No, the movie ended 15 minutes ago.
Like
Eric,
20 minutes ago.
When did you see this movie?
I started seeing this movie at 6:15 Eastern.
I'm glad you said Eastern. And I also saw this movie yesterday. So I think it's important, especially when we're talking about Christopher Nolan movies. What format did everybody see this movie in?
IMAX.
James.
DLX, I guess is the best way to
Which
count
is
it.
the regional theater, Marcus Theaters version of IMAX, right?
Yeah. And
Eric.
I had that loud sound.
I saw it
Yeah,
in the
boom.
best format, Dolby Atmos.
More like lame Atmos.
I mean, my head Dolby
Got
Atmos
him!
too. I felt like it was too loud at points.
Dude.
Hell no.
My
There's
brain
never
was
too
gonna
much.
explode.
We're fucking nuts.
There's a
Yeah.
rumble
I
in
loved
it,
it.
shit. I also saw it in IMAX, not Dolby though. So, Tenet is a Christopher Nolan movie, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, is that how you say her last name? Dimple Kapadi, Michael Caine, and Kenneth Branagh. Yeah, that's who that is. It was released September 3rd, 2020. Budget of around
Wait,
200.
wait, it hasn't been released yet?
It released overseas, yeah.
This is wrong. Wikipedia got it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck
It
Wikipedia.
was released yesterday.
I know it was
For
last
the
week,
public.
wasn't it?
No,
Wasn't
it
It was
released
early
overseas
release,
last
right?
week.
last week was the United Kingdom like release. What'd you
Yeah.
say?
I thought
I
we
don't-
got early release.
No. For this movie specifically, we
US.
got it late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so compared to the United States, only select theaters had early access, so for like 3 days.
Right.
But everyone else is not going to get it till later. But if you were in other countries, they released it last year because their theaters were open already.
Last year.
Last week.
Thank you.
I was gonna say.
I was
what?
like, I don't think we're shit. This might be a later review of the movie.
All
Tenet.
hey,
If you're talking
all
like
this
that.
all the time stuff,
All the
man.
inversion. Okay, we're going to be, like we were just discussing, we're going to be as light on spoilers as possible, and then we may dip into spoiler territory for the last, like,
I like at the end.
5 minutes, maybe. And really, that'll just be to be like, oh, fuck, wasn't it crazy that they fucking... So, the first thing that I want to bring up, and that I've been seeing online a ton, is the sound mixing. Sound mixing was fucking terrible. Dialogue.
It was jarring.
Dialogue in this movie was so difficult to hear. It was so hard to hear in the theater that we were in, and
it didn't help that some of them had like accents.
and then half the time people were wearing oxygen masks. So
I was like,
it was Bane all over again. Is what it was.
Well, yeah, and then at points, just the way people were talking was different without giving away spoilers. So, like, you already were, like, couldn't make out what was going on. And then you're like, wait, am I supposed to or not supposed to know what's going on? Because I can't really hear because there's so much chaos on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I would have loved subtitles.
Dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was fishing for my remote, dude. Looking
I mean,
for it.
I already have subtitles on by default. I don't really mind them.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I totally could have subtitles.
But yeah, it was
But,
hard
I mean,
to-
would it be like blah, 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 blah?
No,
like,
especially in the first third of this movie, subtitles would have been so important because by
Yeah.
in the last third of the movie, it was easier to understand people in certain situations. Where it was
But
like,
I
thank
think
you.
I think he did it on purpose though, because it's supposed to be jarring and quick, and you start going, because like there's some things in the beginning that like I'm sure if you rewatch you'd pick up on, but you just miss it because everything's happening so fast.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want you to know what's going on yet, because I kind of when one of the scenes happened, like already early on, I kind of like I knew who the perpetrator was. Like, I'm not
I don't know
trying to
that
give it
that's
away.
the word you want to use.
No.
You knew who one of the acting parties was. But even that's kind of spoilery. Just a little
100%.
bit spoilery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But-
really hard to
but,
talk
like-
about this movie and not have spoilers, though.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
we can talk about general filmmaking things and then dip into the spoilers.
Let me just start saying, dude, the beginning,
Is
I
nuts.
loved it, dude.
It wild
Yeah.
as fuck. The beginning, though, wasn't that the 5-minute IMAX thing that they showed in front of The Rise of Skywalker?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So that's been in the ethos already for a long ass time. But that opera house scene was nuts. And it like, what is it?
Crazy.
There's like 30 seconds of calm, and then the movie kicks off and then never slows down. It's like
100%.
it's akin to Uncut Gems for me. Cause I was like,
We're just like
my nerves
crazy,
were
crazy,
racked
crazy.
the whole time. I was sitting like this the whole time. I was like, I fucking can't believe this shit is happening right now. Somebody slow this shit down, because I can't. In this
Dude,
movie
and the
does not know how to
soundtrack?
go slow.
Oh, that like main soundtrack that keeps playing. Oh, so good.
I agree. The music was fucking
Really
awesome.
gets your fucking
Yeah.
Blood pumping.
anxiety up, like you said.
But like it's too, because that's Nolan movies involve you like investing a lot of like just concentration. So like when you're so focused that when things are kind of going on, that's why you kind of feel all those emotions. Because normally you can kind of sit back and relax. His movies,
Yeah,
you
there's
can't really
no
relax.
relax.
You're like in it.
None. Not
So
a single
it-
relax.
so it throws you off. Like, so when things happen and then they jar you, like especially with the loud sound or the big action sequences, you're just trying to figure out what's going on. But because it's moving so fast and so chaotic, you're just like, where am I at right now?
But I even feel like, of the movies that I've seen of his, I feel like this is the most chaotic, especially in the first third. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, his other big thinker is Inception, right? I would say that.
And
that's,
Interstellar.
Yeah, but is Interstellar even as much of a thinker as Inception is? Don't they kind of talk
no.
you through things?
yeah,
through
I would say Interstellar is easier to understand.
Because
It is easier to
Inception's like,
understand.
bro, we're 4 levels deep. We gotta go deeper,
Yeah.
bro. And
But like half of Interstellar is easy to understand, the other half is like, wait, what's going on? But like, I get what you guys saying there with Inception. The
Well,
whole
'cause
movie,
you don't know
even when
about
it's
a black
over,
hole, that's fine.
you don't know about no black hole either.
shit,
Nobody
I took-
really knows
I'm an
about black
engineer.
holes.
I took physics. Hello. Yeah,
Hey,
black
those
holes
cell
are easy
towers
to
ain't no goddamn black
Get
holes.
that
What about
5G
the time
coronavirus out of here.
dilation, dude. Come on now.
Acting, I don't think anybody did poorly in any role that they were in.
No.
At
Dude, I
all.
was scared.
I really like the henchmen. Like, they were simple, but they got the point across.
They were so effective
yeah.
until they
and
weren't.
I think
Until they were really
Yeah.
bad guys.
There
But
was
I think-
one time where I was like, the acting could have been better
When?
when they were at dinner.
What? How?
I mean, that was a short scene, though.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
No.
It was like
Who
5
acted
minutes.
poorly in that scene?
No, when it was just him and her at dinner.
Yeah, who acted poorly during that scene?
Him.
Him?
Well, it kept
Man.
cutting, and he was like in a different position, and then when he was,
I think that was purposeful, though. All those weird, like, inconsistencies during cuts, I think he did that on purpose. That, or it was a really shitty scene. Like the second director was like, or Christopher Nolan was like, hey, yeah, go film that while I'm filming something
Should
else.
be easy.
I'm gonna
I
film some
think
shit
it-
blowing up over here.
But no, I think everything that happens in the movie is about a second watch. Like, I think things are set up.
So do you know exactly? I don't know if you guys noticed or not. This is not a spoiler. John David Washington's character goes to dinner, and during dinner, his hands keep from going like this to this to this to this, and his hands are super inconsistent from each cut, right? So it cuts to the person he's at dinner with, and it cuts back, and his hands are in like a totally different position, or like it would cut from like an looking at him, and his hands would be like this. and then when it was over the shoulder, his hands were like this. And he did that for the whole time that they were at dinner. His hands were totally inconsistent between each shot. But even then, I don't think that's acting. That's an editing issue. Because the editor...
I don't think it makes a difference.
Yeah,
It's just something
You
I
just said
noticed.
every shot mattered.
No, I think like Nolan set
Pick
up
a lane.
things. I know he set up things to look back on,
Right.
like when you rewatch the movie, but not every single little minute detail.
You don't know that Christopher Nolan's a fucking genius.
I mean, he could have. If
He's a
anybody did it, it
genius.
was him. Yeah,
He's
if
a
anybody did
god.
it, he did it.
But no, I would chalk that up more to editing. Because, like, John David Washington wasn't like, now, Chris, hold on. What if I did this? And then I did this. And then I did this again. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just the editors using weird takes. And then, like, nobody cared. Like, maybe somebody might have brought it up, and then they were like, shut the fuck up, John. Let us do our thing.
I mean, this movie's already expensive to make. We're not gonna reshoot simple things like that.
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm sure that's what it boiled down to.
Don't waste the fucking IMAX film, dude.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think the characters were solid, and I think the kind of the lack of dialogue from henchmen really it improved what was going on. Because sometimes, like, a lot of in movies, henchmen have like crappy one-liners or whatever, and you're just like, that's stupid.
Yeah, this movie had no one-liners. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think this movie, all the
Well,
dialogue was pretty
I mean,
deliberate.
John David Washington
little
had some
zingers in
jokes.
there.
Yeah,
When?
yeah.
When he was beating up dudes?
No,
You're just snarky. Like,
yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
can't call back to it, but yeah, it was just his like, it's his
But
like
it wasn't no fucking...
charisma.
It
Though.
It wasn't Arnold
Yeah.
throwing a knife through a dude and then going, stick around. And then,
Yeah,
like,
no,
going
no,
and
no,
killing
no.
some other South Americans, you know?
No, but yeah.
Okay, so... Man.
I
Who
just want to say her husband, dude.
So, Kenneth Branagh's
That
character?
dude. Holy
He was scary as fuck.
I was scared for my life.
Yeah. Ah, shit, I would have been too. Yeah, that dude was crazy as hell.
I thought he was gonna be a bigger man.
He didn't need to be, dude.
Well, because she's so tall.
Dude,
like,
she was like, how tall is that woman? She's like 8 feet tall.
She has to be 9 feet.
she's 6 foot easy, dude.
I was gonna say she was
minimum.
tall.
Way taller than 6 feet.
And she was wearing heels half
wow,
the movie.
she's 6'3", so she was 6'6" in those heels though,
Yeah.
because she was towering over dudes.
Well, even the
Nobody's
taller
business.
henchmen they were the same height with her heels on.
Right?
No, she
yeah,
was
yeah.
taller, dude.
She
So
might have been, yeah.
His cinematographer was the cinematographer on Her, the Spike Jonze movie. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It's beautiful. He was
Is that the one where he talks to the phone?
Yeah, he falls in love with the phone.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good. Joaquin
no,
Phoenix
it's
is
great.
solid.
The movie's great. It's gonna
It's
show up on our in review, and if you don't give it an 8, I'll fight you. He was a cinematographer on Interstellar, which is beautiful. He was the cinematographer on Spectre, Dunkirk, Ad Astra, and Tenet. And like some other... Oh, he was the cinematographer on The Fighter. Like, this dude is... The cinematographer has made some fucking gorgeous films.
That's what happens when you're good at your job.
No
they
shit.
keep hiring you.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to.
Okay, so, I mean... And this movie is gorgeous. Like, every
Yeah.
shot in this movie is... From everything. The color composition, the way, like, people are sitting in the scene, the way it gives everything space... And then, like, when it's made to feel tight when they're in tighter quarters,
Yeah.
like, the anxiety is ramped up there, too. It's just so good. So good.
Dude, and I just love that Nolan does practical, dude. My man. Like,
So,
that's one reason I love seeing his films, just because he'll do something, you know.
he'll
He'll
blow up a
actually-
motherfucking building.
Yeah, he's not too reliant on CGI like most like directors and just filmmakers nowadays is the thing.
So,
And
is that boat real? Is that an actual boat?
That yacht?
You think so? Not the yacht. I know what a fucking yacht is. The speedboat
like,
that they
shipping?
were on. No. I know what a shipping boat is, too. Y'all are
I mean, you know what a speedboat
There
is?
was
They're all
multiple
boats.
boats in this movie.
Boat that they were on? Not the,
Yeah.
the like...
The one that takes him to the windmill.
No, not that either. The one
that
where-
takes her to the yacht.
No. I'm trying to talk about this without spoiling anything.
No, those are real. Those are real.
I've never seen that thing before, and
You're not rich enough.
no shit.
Yeah.
Right, and I just haven't watched enough episodes of The Rich and Famous. Apparently,
The
Dude, he had that
sailboat?
credit card.
not. Yeah, I guess you could call it a sailboat.
That's
but
what
that
I thought it
but That
was.
shit was moving.
Yeah.
Like that thing was moving
No, yeah,
way
those-
too fast
no,
for a
those are real.
sailboat.
Yeah, they do. It's like you use those for like the sports now. Like before, they were like the simple ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
The
yeah,
simple
yeah.
cells. But no, yeah, that's like some new age, like super
But
expensive.
the conversation they were having should not have been had on that boat. It was such a weird time and place to have that conversation. It's
Yeah.
so weird to me.
But I think he wanted to. It's because he wanted to keep him on his toes.
And then he got kept on his toes.
Yeah.
No
'cause-
spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, but like
just know that
in-
people are on their toes. Home movie.
Yeah.
Home movie beginning and end. There's
Yeah,
nothing to
because
be
you
going.
can't-
like Tom and Jerry
that-
type shit.
because I feel like in that moment you
Flintstone.
almost you can't like hide
Can't
things
think
because you're too worried about being in the moment that you can't fake it.
Untrue. I've faked it so many times. Nobody's been.
You
able
ain't
to
never
tell
been
that I've
on no
faking it.
boat like that.
Shit, I didn't even know that boat was real. I was like, damn, this CGI is crazy right now. That boat is crazy looking.
And it takes 3 minutes a minute. You ain't even got 2 other men.
Yeah,
I'd be
dude. Moving
They had to flip to the other side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Running back and
They were
forth.
talented.
So the
I
acting.
want to ask a question, but I don't want it to be a spoiler.
Then don't ask it. Don't even do it.
This is why I'm not talking, because I'm gonna mess
Dude,
up.
What do
just
you mean?
throw
You
up-
can just say that you like things. Like you could. Like just don't say like.
I
"Oh,
love
I really
the whole
like the way
movie.
that they jumped into the time machine and went back to the prehistoric
Man,
age.
all you
Brr.
gotta do is be like, all right, there's a spoiler. If
No,
you don't want
don't
spoilers,
do that.
jump ahead to here.
No, because
That's wait till the end.
yeah, because then otherwise you're like jumping between places. No,
Are we
you're giving me
giving-
way too much work.
Are we giving a rating?
Yes, we will be giving it.
Can I go first?
No,
What?
I'm going
Sorry.
first. Me.
If someone
Then I'm
steals
going
mine,
second.
I'm a be
Eric
pissed.
is going last.
Well, that means I'm going first.
Oh,
Okay, first
what
to
the
last.
man? What are you looking at, bird? I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there are surprises in this movie because every good movie has a surprise, right? Would you say that the surprises are easily guessable?
The first surprise that when they come back around to it, I totally knew what it was.
Okay.
Like when you're trying to figure something out, when something's happening, and then he states something about the room. Like I knew what it was. I knew what was gonna happen.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, because I don't know what part you're talking about, but that's okay.
It's in the beginning.
I mean, okay, but my question's a yes or no question. Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
but
they
I
were-
was still surprised.
So was I, but like, they did a really good job of making everything like, oh, that makes sense. Of course.
Yeah.
You laid out the ground rules from beginning to end, and so
Yeah.
every decision that's made in the movie is like, well, duh.
Yeah, that was
Well, that's the
simple
thing, like-
enough for to guess it, but at the same time, it was still like.
I mean,
Because some of the things I got, some things I didn't. And then it's like, when it did happen, like you said, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense because of this, this, and this.
yeah.
But
think-
I don't feel like
Go ahead.
I was trying to, like the whole movie, I didn't feel like I was being stumped. I felt like
Neither.
half the time I got it, the other half, like, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know why I missed that. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2
But
together
it's not
sooner.
a bad thing though to not get
No.
stumped.
Yeah.
I don't think so either, right? Because
Not
that
all of it
means-
has to be like, oh, Inception. Did it topple
I mean,
over at the end?
and not everything needs
Yeah.
to be like mind-blowing twists like, oh, fuck, this kid sees dead people, dude? Are you kidding me right now? You know
It
what I
blew
mean?
my mind.
What?
The
That he saw
movie.
dead people?
No, the whole movie.
No, I think that the discoveries throughout the movie are mind-blowing, but I think that it's not like sideswiping. You know what I mean?
Half
Like,
of it, though, I was like, I don't think I'm smart enough for this.
I had a feeling you were gonna say those exact words. Well,
See, 'cause
I
the
don't
thing
think
is,
I'm
like-
smart enough for this.
All the surprises, like, they may not have all, like, caught you off guard. You may have got them, but still when you put it together, it was still, like, crazy. Like,
And
you
oh,
felt
that's-
cool for
it's an
knowing
interesting
it.
take.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this
Um,
this movie made me feel like I had such a big brain because I was like, oh, I get it. The little bits of dialogue that I can actually
see the
hear,
numbers.
I get it. I can see the code. Oh, I'm beginning.
I mean,
to
You
I'm
what?
still trying to figure stuff out, so.
I would love to talk about that after we stop.
Yeah, I'm
recording.
curious what you're trying to figure out.
Me too.
There's only like one thing I have a question on, and I don't know if it's like open ended where you have a different interpretation of it.
Well,
let's
let's do this. Let's give our ratings. That should take a couple minutes, and then we can dive into spoilers for the last 5 minutes because we're at 20 minutes on the stream.
Sounds good, boss.
Okay. So I guess really quick before ratings.
Favorite part?
Is there anything
I guess
not
we
favorite
can't
part
really-
because that's a spoiler? Is there
Yeah, that's
anything
definitely a
that
spoiler.
you guys didn't like about the movie
No,
that isn't spoilery?
no,
It was just too loud at moments.
no. It wasn't loud enough.
I needed it loud. I needed it loud.
I need my
Go to
chair to
bed.
vibrate more.
Go to a better theater. I don't know what to tell you.
My chair was fucking
Shaking.
Dude, it felt like you were in a race car simulator. Your shit was like shaking.
Yeah.
like
You
this.
know what it
Like,
reminded me of? It
nuts.
reminded me of that thing at Jack's that we went
Yeah,
to.
so it's like those 4D experiences where they're like,
D-box?
no, I don't know what that is. Where they're like blowing air on you, and then
And they're moving the seats.
The roller coaster thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, man, they cranked them fucking speakers up. They
I
said, "Let
almost
this
would have
shit ride."
rather heard it in like
Yeah.
regular like audio because it was a lot.
Dude, I was thinking the same, like an IMAX picture with regular audio. Because, man, the opening scene when guns start blowing off, I'm like, oh, shit. Where's the
Dude,
nearest
but that's
exit? I gotta find the nearest
That's
exit.
what I loved about I saw John Wick in Dolby and they fucking cranked that shit up, dude. And when
Dude,
people were getting shot, I was getting shot.
At moments, I thought I was in the movie
Matrix?
where they're at. No, kind of like the Matrix. Yeah. I haven't seen that. But the other Ron Pattinson movie, the black and white one, where they're the
lighthouse.
Where they're at
Yeah.
the lighthouse.
Where they're at
Yeah.
the lighthouse.
It's funny because like, where they're at the lighthouse.
Can I just say he has gotten old?
No shit? You mean he
Ron
doesn't
Pattinson?
look like
You
a
think so?
17-year-old
I mean-
vampire?
He's like 15 years older than he was from like
Yeah.
Harry Potter and Twilight.
I think he's a good-looking man. I think every man...
This is the best Robert Pattinson, alright?
Dude, seeing this movie got me hype as fuck for the Batman.
Well, the thing,
I saw
Robert
him in-
Pattinson, people need to watch his other movies. Like, you're
Bro,
not getting
seriously.
Twilight Robert Pattinson. You're getting
No.
this, like, indie film
You're getting
gritty
the
Robert
lighthouse from
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, you should watch The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Go check out our review.
I think
Literally, he has, like, 3 other movies where it's, like, watch those movies and before you see Batman, and you'll realize how good he is.
I think the only part that I didn't like was Michael Caine's part, and that's because it made me sad because I had to come to the terms that Michael Caine's gonna die.
Who was that?
And he's probably gonna die real fucking soon.
The,
'Cause
the
that man-
Englishman.
yeah,
that,
dude,
he
the
met-
guy who gave him.
The,
Ah,
oh, yeah.
The one
the
at
guy
dinner?
who
I
handed
wish-
him something.
At
Yeah,
dinner?
The Brooks Brothers.
Yes, it was at
Okay.
lunch when he was being really funny. That was.
I
one
wish
of
he
John
wasn't
David
in there,
Washington's
though.
Funniest
You
scenes.
could have just said the Batman dude and I would have got it.
Michael Caine.
that was my issue because I felt like I was in a Batman movie for a second.
Yeah.
And
Yo.
it took me out.
fucking give me John David Washington as Batman.
Dude, but that's,
Yeah.
that's his.
No.
Nolan North,
Nolan
that's
North.
Michael Caine, right?
I honestly-
Yeah.
If it's Nolan North, you got a Michael Caine.
Christopher
in there.
Nolan.
Oh,
if it's
okay, I'm
Christopher
saying it
Nolan,
wrong.
not Nolan
Oh, yeah,
North.
true.
That's a voice actor who plays Nathan Drake.
True.
Different dude.
But no, like it, like honestly, for a second, it took me out, and I was like, "Oh, I remember when he Nolan had him in Batman," and then I'm like not paying attention.
That's terrible.
No, I was like,
What took me out of it is how he slurred through half of his sentences that he was saying, and I was like, "Oh
he's an
no,
old man."
he's not
And
gonna-"
they had a quick. He had one day on set. They had to get what they got.
Shit, that man was lost on set. He was like, well, "Where's my
Yeah.
son?" Yeah, they sat him down in the seat, and he's like, "Line." Okay, so we're at the 24-minute mark. So
I think I found my new favorite actor, by the way.
who is it?
The main character.
Say his name. John David Washington.
John David Washington.
You've been on your computer just doing shit, and you couldn't even look up the
Wait,
dude's
did
name.
you not like him in Black Klansman?
She still hasn't seen
I
it.
haven't seen that. Shush.
He's really good in Black.
So now I gotta watch it.
I mean, yeah, he's a stellar actor. He's
Yeah.
fantastic. He's the son of Denzel Washington.
Oh.
So he has good acting in his veins.
100%.
That makes sense.
I think it's all
My
him all
sister's making
natural.
fun of you for what you're wearing.
That's fine.
That's fine.
She wasn't here for the beginning, so it doesn't make sense.
Technically, nobody was here for the beginning. So
It doesn't make sense, yeah. Regardless.
Okay, so we'll go through ratings. Alex, what do you give 2020's Tenet?
I don't know if I can give my rating. I don't know if it's a spoiler.
Don't
does
do
that
spoilers. Okay, we're on a time limit, girl.
Okay, I give it
Don't make it a
10.
spoiler. If
It's
you're-
not. I don't think it's a spoiler. It wouldn't spoil it for me. But I give it 10 suicide pills out of 10.
It's not a spoiler.
Okay.
That's
I
not
wouldn't call it a spoiler.
I was like, where's this-
Now,
where's
if you
this
went, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in like.
But
2
this movie
minutes.
has like espionage,
Yeah,
so like
it's
that's like not.
It's like a spy
like-
thriller. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cyanide pills. I didn't even
I didn't
listen
see
to
that
your
coming.
number.
It's normal.
Yeah.
10 suicide pills out of 10. That's my highest rating I've ever
I'm gonna
given.
put you in a fucking psychiatric ward for 72 hours.
Do it.
James, what do you give 2020's Tenet?
I give it 8.5 bungee cords out of 10.
Ooh,
Oh, I like that one.
Eric, what do you give Tenet? Oh man, he's gonna do the thing that I was gonna do. You want to play that forward though? Cause
That's clever.
oh no, don't play it forward. Fuck it. If anybody wants to know what Eric is giving Tenet, play the video in reverse.
Yeah.
Was that clear enough?
You can play it again. Fucking, I don't care.
The audio
It
was
pretty
clear enough.
It'll-
No one knows what's going on
Yeah.
It'll
though,
be
unless
clear
you've
on
seen.
your
Oh,
end
fuck.
too, though. Like
Yeah.
it'll be clear. I can extract it.
It went away.
Good, that's fine.
Oh.
I'll crank your audio for just that bit. And I give 2020's Tenet 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Cause that's
Watch the movie and you'll
watch the
know.
movie
Yeah.
and you'll understand. No,
But if you're listening to this, you won't understand.
no, I think I am gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 8.5 code words out of 10 for people who are only listening. But who,
I
I
feel
shouldn't
like
even say
8.5 is a strong rating for this movie.
I
I'm
give it
gonna
a
give
10
this-
out of 10.
I'm gonna give this movie a 9 when I can watch it at home and I can fucking understand what people are saying.
I'll
That's
put
when this
subtitles
movie's gonna
on.
get a 9. Yeah, and when I put the subtitles on,
100%.
I take the sub.
But that means
logo-
there's an issue with the movie.
You're right.
Maybe it's just. Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I see the movie in a better environment,
Yeah.
more
It's just,
conducive to listening,
the theaters
Yeah.
can't like turn up the
they can't.
treble or
Yeah.
turn down bass shit like that.
They got
right?
no. EQ
No, I think they get what they get and they throw that boy on.
Yeah, they put the thumb drive into the USB and then they let it rip.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here on out, we're gonna do like 5. I want to try to keep it at 5 minutes. We'll maybe do 10 minutes of spoilers. So if you haven't seen Tenet, get the fuck out of here. Stop listening right now, and just listen later after you've seen the movie so that you can hear what we're talking
Pause
about.
it here and come back.
Yeah. After the 2.5 hour thrill
And
ride.
then forget about us.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoilers. Everything. I'm gonna put a big spoiler symbol here. Spoiler. Sooner or spoiler. Spoiler or later.
So that's funny. So does everyone? So like Alex said, she didn't understand some parts. Does anybody have any parts they don't understand, or like they don't
No.
know if they understand it properly? So
Yeah, I didn't understand during the last siege of the movie when they were like, "I'm going to," and that's
yeah,
about
it was way too it was way too muffled.
Yeah.
The back and forth sometimes it's like, wait, what actual time frame are they in? But
And who the
it's
fuck
like-
is saying what? Like, what are
Yeah.
you guys even talking about?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Tell me I'm being a pompous asshole or not. The movie is in reverse order, isn't it? Like, the third act is, like, or I should say there's no real 3-act structure, right? The acts are kind of blended throughout, right? Because typically it's like rising,
Yeah.
you hit the climax, and then you fall, right? But this movie started with some climactic shit. And then from there, you got very little information up until the halfway point of the movie, and then things slowed down, right? When it's essentially when a girl gets shot, everything slows down. And,
There's like an hour left of the movie.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
so she gets shot, and they go through and they start moving in reverse, right? They reverse their entropy, and then that's when things slow down. Robert Pattinson's like, yeah, you know, I've been in the shits for a long time, and you know, I got recruited a couple years ago, and I've been doing this ever since. And you meet this new character, Ives, and the one female soldier literally says, you're in a video game tutorial and keep your mask on, otherwise you can't breathe. And like they slow it all down. They tell you big important world details, and then shit goes right back to crazy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think maybe it might be like an M shape. You know?
Oh, you're saying something that's you could read it regardless of which way it is?
Mm-hmm.
Right on, brother.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This fucking guy knows, dude.
So like the whole thing though is like, are they truly even really changing anything?
No.
Exactly, because everything that happens already happened
That's
or
what,
will happen.
I mean, Robert Pattinson says that like 3 or 4 times. Because what's happened.
It's like it's physics, right? You can't change energy.
You can't change what's already happened.
Or you can't create or destroy energy. You only
because it's already. Because like even so, like when you
doesn't make sense.
When you go back to it though, because she's like, I saw the girl jump off the boat, and it's like, oh no, it's her the whole time. Right. She saw herself.
Yeah.
And
but,
then it's.
Well,
and he
meeting,
left, right?
Yeah.
But like even then, like it was all self-fulfilling. All of it is going to happen, and all of it has happened, right? It's all a matter of. I mean, like, in a sense, there is no way to like change the past because they showed you that, right? Everything that happened ended up happening, and everything she talked about, right? Like that guy, you know, she saw the woman jump off the boat, and then he was gone. He went on a mysterious trip, right?
Yeah.
And I forgot who said it, but even in the movie, I think John David Washington. So the protagonist is his name. I feel like we should have probably said that.
I am the protagonist.
So if you guys look at the IMDb, his name is the protagonist.
It makes sense.
He doesn't have a name.
Shit.
He never gives it.
Yeah.
Because when we meet him, he's the American, and then every time after that, he says, "I'm the protagonist."
So, John David Washington is trying to like fix the past,
Right.
but it just shows you that he can't.
He
Because
can't.
no matter what happens, it corrects itself almost.
I mean, yeah. Because
I mean, he did, right?
yeah, he ended up changing the past because he averted the destruction of everyone. Which, like, he tells when they're in the shipping container, he's talking to Robert Pattinson, and he's like, "Well, if we're here and we're doing all of this shit, doesn't it mean that it worked?" And Robert Pattinson's like, "Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're looking at it optimistically,
yeah.
then
but
yes."
it depends how you look at time travel and like universes though. Because like if you look at the Endgame thing, it's like, oh, they're going back, but they're changing their future, but they're not changing someone else's future because someone else's future already happened. So it's like, are they all in the same timeline?
No, they bring up parallel universes in this movie. Robert Pattinson's also talking about that inside of the shipping container. He's like, well, we can never see parallel worlds, so we don't know how anything can or will turn out differently. So he even says it like, I don't fucking know. I mean, we can't see.
And I think,
like,
and I think at the end of the movie, you don't know, like, did they really save like their own future?
They did.
No, they did.
They did. There's no question about that. Because they didn't die.
No one blew up.
Right. If that guy would have succeeded, everybody would have died.
Yeah, no, I get that, but how? Like, so he recruits himself.
No,
from
he
the
recruits
past.
Robert Pattinson, who recruits him.
Yeah.
Wait, he recruits a bunch of people who end up recruiting him.
Yeah, because he technically makes Tenet and then recruits himself to Tenet.
Well, he doesn't, because he never comes in contact with himself other than the airport scene. But yes, in a sense.
No, but it seems like the future him sends his self almost to like people back to stop whatever currently is happening in the current world they're living because they have no resources. So I think half the people are trying to like just destroy them, but he doesn't want to destroy them, so he's trying to fix it before.
Who is them? Destroy what?
Whoever the people are that hired the other guy, the villain of the movie.
No.
Are you talking about the girl?
No. I think James, you might be confused.
So who sets up the Ukraine guy?
His descendants. I'm pretty. Oh no, not even that. Some random.
He was
Ukrainian,
at the right place at the right time.
That's what.
Well,
Kira
he was
says.
the one that found the stuff,
but
and
they
he
knew
killed
he was
the other
gonna
guy.
Be there, so
Yeah.
that's why they.
Yeah.
That's why they sent it back in that spot.
Yeah.
Because they knew he'd be there, and they knew that he'd be ruthless
Yeah,
enough to
because
kill a boy.
they specifically talked about like when Ukraine fell, or I forget what they
When
said.
the bomb
It was the
went off.
Soviet Union.
Yeah, when the
Like
Soviet Union. Yeah.
when the Soviet Union fell, that's specifically the point where like they're like, all right, we need this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't it seem as if like somebody is like wanting the Ukraine guy to do one mission, and then John David Washington wants them to do another mission to prevent that mission?
No. I think no. John David Washington creates Tenet knowing that mission's going to play out that way. Because it worked. He knows it worked.
Yes.
Because he experienced it already, right? And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why he made to stop it. So technically there are two sides.
No.
But they don't explain
it's linear. It's all linear. Like, they're moving linearly, right? But,
Nah, dude, it's a pincer movement.
It is a pincer movement. We're going to go underneath
like
the ground,
his-
and then we're going to...
Yeah.
He found it when he was a kid, right? And then John David Washington is meeting in the middle to the point where like he's trying to kill himself.
Right. But, like, James, to get to your point, it does work. There is no ambiguity at all.
Yeah, it does work.
Yeah. Because they don't die.
But the future, the reason the people sent the other guy back in the future to destroy them though is because like they want resources
Right.
and they want to kill the past. But it's like the future still isn't technically saved because they're still gonna not have resources.
But John David Washington isn't creating Tenet to save the resources. He's not doing
Yes.
that. He's doing
What
that.
I'm saying is though, my point is
people are
the future
fucked.
is still fucked.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
That was never
Yeah.
a question.
Well, 100% Interstellar is in the same universe.
Fuck, maybe. I don't know.
It
'Cause
could
they run out
be.
of resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
This
Eric!
movie has a lot of plays on Interstellar.
You're right. You're right.
Y'all want to know what I
It does
just
feel like
realized?
Interstellar at
What?
points.
What did you just realize?
That Tenet is spelled the same way.
Yeah, it's a
Forward and
palindrome.
back.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I explained this to you
Yeah.
on the drive home last night. Good Lord, have mercy.
It's 100% the same.
He said Tenet, and I was like, oh.
It's literally spelled. Oh my god. So really quick because we're at the 37 mark. Favorite parts. James, what was your favorite part?
So probably the second time they go back through the airport because like even though I knew like what was going, like I assumed that it was him from the past or future, whatever was going on. But then when you see it play through and you see like why everything was happening, it just like it's cool because one, it reassured what I thought, and two, it's just a cool scene, and then it's a great action sequence, and they come back to it and do it twice.
Right. Yeah. And you
Backwards.
It twice. Well, some of
Basically.
it is backwards, and then you see the forward one play out also, right?
Yeah.
Because old boy fucking rips his mask off. Eric, what's your favorite part?
Dude, that same part. Like, once John David Washington's like, all right, I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna fucking do this thing. I don't care.
Me, I'm doing it, because we got to save old girl.
I don't know what this machine does, but I'm gonna step in there.
Yeah, that was ballsy because he did not understand. They literally explained to him after he came out the other side.
Alex, what was your favorite part of the movie?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I loved the opening opera scene when
That opera scene
he's
is so well done. Ooh. Nom, 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 nom.
when he's standing there waiting to get the go, and then the moment that shit starts popping off and he just takes off running, I'm like, oh my god. Like, yeah. It's just everything was so thought out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I guess that's like CIA agents and stuff like
You
that.
like the
but-
fact that they had like a bunch of patches? They're like, all right, who fucking showed
Dude,
up?
I
Yeah.
loved that. They were,
Yeah.
and they were like, all right, which nation is going to show up to the shit and try and bust it all up?
And then my favorite, like my second favorite scene is when they are boxing in the car with all the different cars, like the fire truck and
That's a good scene.
yeah.
Chef kiss. And like,
I love how the cops came out of nowhere. I was like, these goddamn local cops are messing things up.
I loved when they cut back to the guys who are tracking the car, and they're like, well, are they still moving? And they're like, yeah. Fuck it, don't worry
That's
about
not
it.
part
And
of
then
the
he
plan
goes like
then,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep it. They needed. That's why I was like, why does he need such big vehicles?
Dude.
It's literally to push.
Man,
Yeah.
it's moments like that where you're like, Christopher Nolan had this shit plotted out on a board with a bunch
Yeah.
of red string, and he's fucking drinking coffee and smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Or the fact that he fucking blew up a plane, dude. He's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Dude, that
we're gonna drive this plane into this building.
I don't want.
And then the guy was like, oh, people were just think it's terrorists.
Himesh Patel was that guy's name.
Oh boy, from yesterday.
He is the MVP. That dude comes in clutch
Yeah.
in so many key moments where it's like, my boy, dude, put him on the roster. Get him
So
signed up.
The other guy with him, he kind of looked. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but he looked like the guy that plays Shaggy in Scooby Doo. Is that who that was?
No.
That was.
He
not,
looked like him.
That was not him.
I was like, who is
He's
it? Like,
a way-
but he never came back.
He's a way taller, thinner dude. The guy who plays Shaggy.
Yeah.
I
don't know. He put on weight.
Not that much weight, dude. My favorite part, it wasn't because it's like perfect filmmaking or anything, but I really loved the fight scene in the kitchen because it showed you, like, you had seen earlier in the movie that, like, John David Washington is a fucking badass. Like, they pulled out all of his teeth and then they had to reconstruct his jaw in order to even get him there. Like, he's a straight G. But you don't get a sense of physically how much of a fucking animal he is until he beats the shit out of those guys in that kitchen, dude. That fight scene, I was like, oh, this dude is like the badass.
He let them-
And he's not slightly worried at all.
Not even for a second,
He
dude.
let them get one little punch in, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna fuck y'all up."
Yeah, and then he fucking he reloaded his hands and he went into this shit, dude. That scene.
But that was a smart tactic. Because he caught them off guard.
Right.
They thought that he was just gonna whimper and then they were gonna beat him up, and then he just comes fast.
And he like every motion is
And
so
loose.
well planned out.
Yeah.
Like even like throwing the dishes, he did it flippantly, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like he
Yeah.
scanned the area and was like, "I'm gonna throw these dishes into a motherfucker."
I need a weapon.
What? And threw the ass.
This makes me want to become like a secret agent.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. 20 years too
a
late.
lot of those people die.
Yeah, you're a little late, girl.
You'd be one of the blue soldiers. They send you in first.
But the blue soldiers weren't sent in to die, though, were they?
They were sent to scout.
Everyone evacuated, dude. Except, like 6 people.
Well, yeah.
So they were sent to scout because that's why, like, because they're like, okay, this is all the intel we need. Because they didn't know about the turrets or whatever, and they're like, yeah, because the blue team went
Right.
first.
Yeah.
That's how we know. So they almost were sent there to die.
Well, no,
it was like they were Plan A.
Yeah.
Red team was Plan B.
They were the front lines. Right.
No,
Yeah.
but it was at the same time. There wasn't no front lines, right? Because they both...
Technically,
No,
yes.
but technically, no.
Yeah. Because
They
it
saw
already
first.
happened.
Yeah, it had already happened. Tenet.
So their
Tenet.
it's because like their beginning was their end and their end was their beginning, but eventually at one point in time they coincide in the same
Man, this
time
time
frame.
travel shit
And
is
then
getting me
fucking
hot, dude. It's
Robert
getting me hot.
Pattinson switched.
Yeah, he was just hopping back and
Yeah.
forth.
It's like, fuck
That man
this.
didn't give a fuck about his own life. He had a blatant disregard for his own life.
Dude, but now he's stuck in a time loop.
He's not stuck in a time loop. He just
dies.
knows when he's gonna die. He knows when
Yeah.
he's gonna die. He saw it. He experienced it. So like,
Oh, I guess
yeah, like
yeah, I guess you're right.
it's not really a loop.
So
the man
if
knows
like
that he's
like
gonna
you guys
die.
yeah, like
So-
you guys said if it's they save the world more or less, like he no longer needs to, but if it's saved, then he no longer needs to recruit him,
No,
and
he
therefore
does. He knows that everything is cyclical. He knows that
Yeah,
things
yeah.
happen only because.
so it's
they
a
happen.
never-ending circle.
It's a Mobius strip.
Sure. It's not never ending because it does end. He dies. We saw him die, right? So it does end. It is an end. Everybody has an end point, right? It's just that he knows what his end point is, and now he has to go through life knowing that that moment will happen, and
That really sucks.
yo, he doesn't. Give
I
a
mean,
fuck.
they're
He's living
at the end of the
his
day,
best
they're soldiers.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what they are.
They signed
They're-
up for it.
It's for the greater good.
I mean, shit.
Like he knows
Go ahead.
that his life is not as important as because if he doesn't, then it all ends anyway. So what's the point?
Right.
He's dead anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see that when Ives pulls out his gun, and then when he puts it back and gives them the pieces, and he's like, "Oh shit, you didn't kill us? Totally thought you were
Dude,
gonna kill us."
I 100% thought I was gonna be like, all right. Bah, bah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Robert Pattinson was gonna kill Ives. Like
I didn't. I thought that.
Nah, I thought they were in leagues.
Yeah.
I
No,
thought they were
I'm not
together.
gonna lie. When they were, I guess, on the ship going back in time or trying to
Mhm.
get
Yep.
back into like the right time loop, I really thought Robert Pattinson was like a bad guy in all this.
He comes off like a bad
Like
guy.
I got really bad guy vibes from him until
Because he
yeah.
wasn't telling all the info.
if
Yeah.
yeah, because you find out that he actually knows what's going on, and like the whole time he's been deceiving him.
Yeah.
But he needs to deceive him because he can't affect. Because
He can't-
there's the
yeah.
chance still that if he affects him, it deters it. Because he even says it. He's like, if I told you that the guy you seen was you, it could have affected something, and then the mission doesn't go through because
You might have
say you
changed
don't,
something.
you do know you might get killed, and then the world just ends anyways.
Yeah.
It's all weird because it's time, and
Time travel is always
time
weird.
travel.
Yeah,
So-
it's always
Yeah.
weird. It's always a goddamn mess.
At first, I
Yeah.
was like, so did the world really blow up because, he had cancer and she left the boat? So he, killed himself then, right? No?
No.
I thought he killed himself.
What? You watched her shoot him
Oh.
in the fucking chest.
No, the
So
first
technically,
time.
I think technically that moment never happens because that's why it starts in play for him to be the guy to find the thing so that it could lead to that moment. So then he does kill him. In the original time, maybe he doesn't.
What are you saying?
Yeah, you
It's
guys
really-
are
it's-
overthinking it. The movie,
Yeah.
my favorite part of the movie is when he's meeting the scientist bitch for the first time, and she says, "Don't tell me anything that I might know you, because you're gonna fuck shit up, and also don't ask questions. Don't fucking worry about it. It works this way." And she's
Yeah.
like, "When I put my hand over the bitch, the bullet's gonna come up. Whoop! Don't ask me how. It's time inversion.
It just
Shit
does.
just happens. Don't ask."
Because I get what Alex
questions."
is saying. She's saying when the girl originally jumps off the boat, is he killing himself?
No.
See, I wasn't thinking of it like that. I was thinking of it as
See, you don't even know what she's thinking about.
she.
I don't
She's
know.
too tenet.
Now I have no idea.
No,
It's a
in my
cycle.
in my
is.
mind, I was thinking of it as she never went back, so none of that happened. So when they her and her son originally left the boat, he killed himself, so the world blew up. But now I understand that was just a moment, and he was never going to actually kill himself then until
But
he got
even
everything.
she didn't know that he killed himself. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because she tells them the only time we were ever happy was, where were they at? Taiwan? Off the coast of
Vietnam.
Taiwan?
Yeah.
And
Vietnam.
It was Vietnam. Yeah.
And when me and old boy went back to land, he went off on his plane because he had important business to do. When he went off on his plane, she shot him in the fucking chest. She went, "Greg."
I want to know what she does with his body.
They fucking eat it. I don't know.
Like,
Whatever
where
you
does
do
she
with
take
your dead
it?
body, I guess.
I'm assuming
They
she
probably
buries
leave it
it.
in
It's
the
still her
ocean.
son's father.
She probably doesn't bury it because he's a piece of shit.
But I mean, I think that's why. Like, why else would she keep the body?
No, I mean they have to
Because
dispose
they don't want to
of
discover it.
Yeah,
they don't want to
right.
leave it on the side of the fucking yacht.
Yeah.
With a bullet hole in his chest.
Yeah, whoa. That guy looks a lot like the boss. Weird. Drive off, guys. Okay, we're at
So now that's
47
kind of
minutes.
it,
What's up?
It's just confusing.
Well, what?
Because now it's like what happens? So the one her goes back to the blonde haired lady. She goes back, her and her son, and he's gone. Does he ever come back?
No, because he went off on a trip. He does come back, right?
And his favorite
because
rocket
he's
ship.
moving backwards in time. So he himself is moving backwards in time, collecting the 9th piece of the puzzle that he needs to end the world for the algorithm. So right then, he knows he's going to die. That is the future him going to the last point of his life, because he remembers that when he went forward, that is the last happy moment of his life, right? You get where I'm
Yeah,
going?
yeah.
So
But once he dies, doesn't the chain break?
no, because the him that's moving forward is still moving forward through time. There is no break in the chain. The guy that you saw, right? So the guy that you saw had already moved back in time, right? And that was his last day of his life. He was gonna kill himself, set the algorithm.
I get what you're
off, and end
saying.
it.
So
I'm just trying to figure
yeah,
out where she goes.
I get it.
After she jumps off the boat. What happens to her?
She goes back.
Does she just go back into her own
She's
time?
the one that calls
So-
on the phone.
Right. So remember, right, guys, y'all are learning about. So I think what
does
I'm
she
gonna do-
replace?
No. So what I'm gonna
She has to go back in the
hold on, wait.
in the machine.
So what I'm
doesn't
gonna
she?
do is I'm gonna split the spoilers off into a second video because we're already
Yeah.
at 15 minutes here, and I kind of expected us to go over. So right, that woman who goes back to the boat is still her from the past. So she is still going to live her life just as the woman who killed Kenneth Branagh's character will live her life. So there is a point at which that woman who goes onto the boat has to travel back in time. And at that point, the cat that we know converges and starts traveling forward through time again. Because now is her forward through time. So she's going to go back to the point where she goes back in time and then start living her life through there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because she knows when she's going to go back in time, right? She knows when she's going to get shot. So she just has to start living her life from then on.
You'd have to kill all of them because they can change too much.
Kill all of who?
In the future, like her, you're like, what if she's like one day is
But
like,
that's
you know
what
what, I miss
Priya
my
tried to
husband.
do.
I'm gonna go
Right?
back and I'm not
Exactly,
gonna kill
yeah.
him.
Tried, and fucking John David was like, "Bitch, I saw this shit
You're
coming."
gone, bitch.
So
Well, because she was doing it all on her own accord.
I have a question. Why was the world gonna blow up if he dies? Like what?
Because of the algorithm. That big, long, metal, alien-looking ass thing, that was the algorithm. That was the thing that the woman who killed herself in the future, she built that. And so what she used as an analogy was the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was what was going on when they discovered how to split an atom and how to create a nuclear warhead. Nuclear or nuclear?
Nuclear.
Second one.
Nuclear.
So that's what she was using as an analogy. This woman created the futuristic version of a nuclear warhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that thing, if you activated the algorithm, would kill everyone. I'm not even really
So
sure what the
I
algorithm
mean, it
does.
still
I
blew
think-
up though.
No,
I think what
never
happens
set
What
off.
though,
blew up?
it's
in
They
the
set
hole?
a
No, no, no.
bomb.
yeah,
They said
it was
that-
actual warhead.
Remember that detonation charge that was up in the thing? That was not the algorithm.
Oh.
That was the thing that Blue Team went and set. Somebody
So
said
what
it.
happens is, yeah, the blue team says it. So what happens is, so technically it's the whole, if I go back in time and kill that's why I said the grandfather thing. If I kill my grandfather, then do I no longer exist because my grandfather never had my father, so then my father never had me. So then I think they were thinking that if he kills himself, he never can go back in time. And it's like, now I confuse
No,
myself.
I was gonna say you probably shouldn't have said that because you just confused the fuck out of yourself.
No, Robert Pattinson's character said it. I can't remember though. It was about entropy though. Like,
But it was about them
eventually-
converging.
eventually, yeah, converging, and then once they converge, the shit blows up.
Yeah, so if he dies and the thing goes off, they slam together the
Right.
two time frames.
Right.
So like right now both.
So hold on. I'm
everyone's
gonna
trying
read
to
it.
stop
I'm gonna read it from the Wikipedia page. Priya explains that artifacts are parts of a future-developed algorithm capable of catastrophically inverting the entire world, and that future humans wish to activate it to prevent the effects of global warming. Kat reveals that Sator is dying from inoperable pancreatic cancer and deduces that he will activate the algorithm on the moment of his death via a dead man's switch. So that's all it says. I think this is one of those things where you need to listen to the movie earlier on where they say, don't fucking worry about it. Just understand that this shit is going to end the world if he sets it off. Don't ask any more questions because you're not going to figure it out. Because Christopher Nolan couldn't figure it out, and who the fuck do you think you are?
But I think that's why this movie only has a 78 because
This movie now
what
has
happens
an
is
80, unless they updated it.
let me look.
No, it
It's
has
a
a
78 right
78.
now.
Now it's- oh,
But
man.
but the issue is the more you think about this movie, the more convoluted it becomes.
It's
like,
that's every time travel movie though.
yeah,
Everything. But like
yeah. Because I mean, it was like that for Endgame.
But you
like
can't-
the more you thought about
you
it,
can't
the more
review
I was like,
a movie based on the fact that it's trying to
I
explain
thought
an
Endgame was
unexplainable
super
fact.
simplistic though.
It is only because they actually used the universal worlds theory. That's the only reason that it makes more sense. Is because they clearly stated we're not traveling through time, we're dimension hopping, right?
Yeah, but even then, when they did the Captain America being older, people like lost it, and they're like, "Well, how did he get older if he didn't go back in time?
Well,
then how
because
did
he went back and grabbed Pym particles and he traveled through
Exactly.
a different dimension. So people just
Yeah.
are angry because they're idiots. But
Yeah, but like it causes conversation is the thing.
right, but like I don't think this movie should be docked because we don't understand time travel. Because I think
But,
this movie does a really cool job showing time travel and explaining how it could maybe work by hitting these inversion points where you can go back in time. I think it does a great job, and I think that
See, but as a movie goer, do you want to go see something where you're like, "Oh, I may not understand it," or do you want to go see
because
something?
my brain big and my brain round.
I'd rather
and
it be
grooves.
that than like, all right, spell everything out for me.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but see-
I'd rather see this. I'd rather see this than a Hobbs and Shaw, where I didn't.
Oh, I wouldn't.
It
Those
was
movies are
giving
so
me
fun.
very Hobbs and
Crazy.
Shaw vibes when they were going
How
through
many
the
sounds so
glass.
fun?
I think this movie's a lot of fun. I think this movie's more fun because it makes you think. Like, And maybe on a repeat viewing, it won't make me think as much because it's not as surprising. But like this movie made me think. Like I sat and I thought, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Oh,
I just want to see that opening
My
scene.
brain's
Me
so
too.
big. But I want to see it on a 90-inch television with Dolby Atmos surround sound.
I want
That's too much screen.
to
You
see
hell no, not enough
that and the.
can't even see the whole movie. You gotta look back and forth.
Yeah, I gotta fucking.
The
I'm gonna
truck
sit
scene.
directly in front of it. What do you want to see?
Yeah, I like
that and the truck
too.
scene.
The truck scene is so
Dude, a
tough.
lot of highway scenes are just fire.
Yeah.
Like in movies.
There's
Oh,
some-
and
Yeah.
then when he saved her from the car, he like jumped in and pressed on the brake with his hand. I was like, what the fuck?
Or when he
almost
the
didn't reach
car,
it.
Yeah.
And the car fucking when he old boy flipped the car in his ass. That shit
And that was
wild.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy too when you look at it though. Like when
And old
you're
boy
seeing
looked
it back.
him in the
'Cause-
fucking eye. He went.
Yeah. Because when the cars flipped over the first time, I was like, how'd that car get flipped over?
Why the fuck would he do that?
Yeah. Because they don't show you, then it unflips, and it's like, okay, something must have happened in the past to flip it over. But then you see it's him in the past.
Right.
And then it's funny, because they told her, like, if it's hot, you're going to get cold.
Your ass is going to freeze.
Well, Joey
Yeah.
saw the broken mirror on the car in the beginning of that whole.
Yeah, I freaked the fuck out when they were
Yeah.
in the car and the
Yeah,
mirror
I
was
was like, what's
broken.
going on with
I was
this?
like, somebody's gonna invert their ass. It's
Well, I
going
feel like there's a
down.
lot of scenes when you look back that are little things that are already inverted.
But I think that they do a good job of like holding on it long enough for if you're paying attention, you can be like,
Mm-hmm.
Surprised Robert Pattinson didn't notice it. He was looking at it to fucking.
But no, he knows, though.
yeah, but he knows.
Oh.
He knows. He just can't change anything because it
shit.
changes the future.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me
No,
with
but
that,
he
dude.
doesn't know. No, he's not coming back in time, is he?
I mean, he already lived through it, didn't he?
I think that's a question that can be answered on a rewatch.
Well, what did he say? He said, "This is my beginning."
No, this is my end of our friendship. And then
And
that's
your
when John
beginning.
David
Oh, yeah.
Washington goes, but this is only my beginning. And he's like, don't worry, you'll get there. You'll get to experience it just like I have.
Man.
Dude,
And he was
said
like-
that and I was about ready to start weeping.
Yeah, because he's still gonna meet him in the future because the
His
future
future.
him is not his future because the Robert Pattinson in the past is a different Robert Pattinson, or it's the same one but on a different spectrum of the timeline.
In a different spot in the timeline.
Yeah.
Not spectrum in the timeline. The timeline is a spectrum.
But
Okay, let's
yeah.
say your point. We're at an hour, so
No,
I'm
it's
just.
not.
I assume you're gonna cut it
Yeah,
so it
I
didn't
was-
matter.
Well, I'm gonna cut it in half, but I'm not gonna shave
Exactly.
out all the random shit. So,
Well, no,
is there
yeah,
any
yeah.
last points from anybody? You were gonna say
Beautiful.
something, girls. Just say it.
No, it was just about how like this is my end and your beginning, and he was like, "Don't worry, we're gonna have a great time."
Oh man,
Yeah.
you're gonna make me start crying.
Yeah, it
She was
really
so
sad.
good. That's my favorite part of any time travel thing, because Doctor Who does the same thing where there's some time travel weird shit like that, where like people are meeting but they're at different points in their relationship, and every time it's so good. It just hits so hard because you're like, fuck. Like he is so
So-
sad because that's his boy. He saved his life, dude.
Yeah, and it really cracked me up when he was in the car, like honking the horn, trying not to get him to go in the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "How the fuck did he fuck that up twice?" Because
Really, it
we
was
see
only
it
once?
twice.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand.
But it's because they don't know.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and that's another way of showing you that nothing can change.
yeah.
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 We just saw him fuck it up, and then we see him from his point of view fuck it up. So it's really just everything actually happening.
Because
it's always gonna
even though
happen.
like because it's gonna eventually happen again, right?
Yeah.
No, it's happened the 2 times that it'll theoretically happen.
I was just confused because he dies in that tunnel. Robert Pattinson dies in that tunnel, like we see his
Yeah.
backpack.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't.
But he like also comes back alive because he opens it up and shoots through, right?
Doesn't a bullet invert out of his head?
Yeah.
That's how he comes
because he's
back
dead
to life.
originally, and then but what happens is he goes through the tunnel because at
That
first
scene
the
was
mission's
real
played
chaotic.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to
So
rewatch that shit.
Yeah, it's played out, and they're already losing like the battle, and then he decides to not go through the original plan, change his mind, and they go back through the tunnel. So he would have died originally, but then now he's going through there. So when he's like shoot him or whatever, instead he comes back because it's inverted.
Mm-hmm.
He opens the lock, and then he gets shot. But then it's like also shows him like inverting where it's all going backwards,
Right.
but he opens the lock.
Yeah, I think the last 30 minutes of this film,
It's so
I wanna
confusing.
watch 100 times.
Yeah.
I just
It
wanna
needs
watch
to be
it
rewatched.
over and over again. Okay.
Because like I see your guys'
I
points,
want
and
the director's commentary.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so hot and bothered thinking about hearing Christopher Nolan talk about the last 30 minutes. I hope
because
he's
like the
just
way you guys are explaining
I
it,
hope he's
I
like,
let it ride.
yeah. I hope he's just like, honestly,
yeah.
I think this shit look cool as fuck, so I let it happen. And like,
Because the way you guys are explaining it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I can see that. But then I'm like, but is that
Then
what
you
they
think
meant to
about it
do?
more. Yeah.
I think that is
Like,
what
you
they
could-
meant to do.
You could take it different ways. Is the issue?
I think Inception you can take different ways. I don't think you could take this movie different ways. I think it's pretty clear fucking cut what happened. The only not clear thing is like when things are frantic, right? Like that building falling. I was like, I don't know what's going on. All I know is boom, fall. That's it. Maybe. Because I don't know.
Well, the only thing that's weird is because it seems like Robert Pattinson dies like technically twice, but then the third Robert Pattinson is the one that saves the
I
day.
just
Pretty
think
much.
we need to watch that scene over. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it just was too fast.
I think we're
and
probably
we weren't-
getting mixed up.
Right.
Yeah.
We just weren't.
And that's the thing
we're
because
caught up.
yeah, because then I'm like, wait, was that not him? But then they show the little stupid red tags. So you're like, no, it was him.
Yeah, I don't know. We just need to see this movie again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to buy it. I can't wait for us. I think what I would love to do in our last couple moments, I would love for us to get together and do a commentary on this movie where we watch it and we just talk about it. I think that'd be so much fun. And we can just like really gush out over the course of the 2.5 hour movie. I can't wait until we have to do a later review of this movie and we get to sit
So-
down and watch it over and over again because I'm buying it every fucking way that I can buy this movie.
VHS.
Yeah.
So do you think this is the best movie of the year?
Yes. I would give this movie
Because-
Best Picture. Because what other movie came out that is better than this film?
So, I mean, Bad Boys for Life has only one score less on a tomato meter and has like thousands of more reviews and
This movie
has
just
a
came
better
out.
audience score. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait
Audience
to see
score
the
doesn't
reviews
matter.
for you.
It's all about the critics. It's Christopher Nolan, okay? Michael Bay is not winning Best
I mean-
Picture over Christopher Nolan. You're an idiot if you think that's
Michael
the
Bay didn't do Bad Boys for
His
Life.
wait,
dude
who
said,
did?
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but it wasn't.
2 out of 4.
case. Oh, wow, really?
John Oleneski from New York Post.
Man, fuck him. Fuck the New York Post. Okay, and
It's because when you think too much about it, it gets confusing, and then people are like,
that's
"What did I
because
just
people
watch?"
have small brains. They need bigger
It was-
brains.
It was two
An
different
undeniably
I know it
ambitious
was.
but dramatically confused story, which feels as if it's going out of its way to come across as the most deliberately obtuse and impossible to follow Bond film ever made.
That sounds like someone who's too much of an idiot to have paid attention during the movie.
And he sounds like he's trying to use big words.
Yeah, he whipped
No,
out
but
that
I-
thesaurus and went flip, 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 flip.
But that's the
flip,
thing, though, and that's why I think this movie is because a lot of people aren't going to understand it. Like when it comes to being nominated, I'm sure a lot of these older people are going to be like, "There's just too much going on for this, and it's not going to win."
Man, whatever fucking Tinker told your Taylor die or whatever fucking got nominated for an Oscar. Fuck off. This movie's gonna win it. If no other movies come out this year that are worthy of the Oscar, this movie's gonna win it. What do you mean?
Yeah,
It's gonna win it
Dude,
on the
man.
magnitude alone.
it's going to win all the visual effects for sure.
What do you? It's not like fucking Sonic is gonna win Best Picture. Onward is gonna win Best Picture.
Sonic deserves those visual awards,
they
though,
do.
man. They did it.
Okay, we're cutting
They
off
came
the
back
stream.
and did it. All right.
Okay, so I hope you like this bonus episode of the Sooner or Later podcast and Sooner or Later
I
reviews.
hope you didn't.
Yeah, fuck it. If you didn't, whatever. We're gonna keep doing it, bitch.
If you didn't like us, you gotta like to comment negative stuff.
Yeah, you gotta invert the entropy of the like. So if you dislike us, you gotta like us. Because then when you move back in time, it's really like you're disliking it. So just like,
Let us know what you didn't like about it in the comment section.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's
Talk
good for
shit.
the
Yeah,
algorithm.
So I'm gonna upload this. So the first half an hour, part 1 is gonna be spoiler free esque, and then part 2 is gonna be all the spoilers where we talk about how girl was a straight fucking badass. Bitch took an inverted bullet to the stomach and then came back and was like, "Stick around." Boom.
Yeah, she was alright.
Nah, she was a G.
Now, do you see despair or anger?
But they took her back through, so it's almost like she never got shot.
Hell no. You see that scar? Bitch got shot.
Yeah,
she
it was
got
bad.
fucking shot.
She was too thin. She needed to eat a little more.
She's lucky she didn't get split in half.
She need that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
She did need that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So now that theaters are opening back up, I think if all four of us are pretty excited about going to see a film, or even if a couple of us are actually excited to go see a film, we're going to start doing more of these sooner reviews. And then when things start opening up a bit wider and, you know, coronavirus isn't nearly as bad, I'm sure we'll do
Eric.
these way more often. I mean, I don't think there's any other movies that I'm excited for.
It's worth.
I did get a really quick scoop that apparently Mulan is going to be free for Disney Plus subscribers in a couple months. So I
What a
think,
scoop. You get an inside man, dude?
yeah, it's called Other Movie Podcasts.
So doesn't Black Widow still come out this year? You're not excited
November.
for that?
November. I don't know if it's coronavirus worthy.
The only other film that's coronavirus.
Black Widow's gonna be
right
great.
now
That's
is
actually the other
Bond.
trailer that showed.
We're excited for The Conjuring.
That is
No.
not coronavirus worthy. That's a different topic for a different time. Okay.
Yeah, wait, we should make a list.
Yeah, we really should, and then talk about it. So, thanks for watching the podcast. We actually had like 6 people actually watch the podcast. So I'm gonna just give typically we record the podcast every Sunday, and we're talking about older movies. But like I said, maybe we'll start doing more sooner movies if we can make it and not get
Don't lie
coronavirus.
to them.
I said maybe. So I'm gonna cut these.
I'll go to the movies every week.
Oh hell no! Well, yeah, but maybe you're immune. You don't know. We don't know yet.
I'd rather
It's
die.
Okay.
wow! This man doesn't give a fuck.
I cut it there.
Yeah. All right. So, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. If you watched it, if you're new, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. I think we're pretty funny. Typically, some of us are a little more lively than others. Typically, some of us are way more lively during the actual episode.
Who?
When we're not afraid to spoil the movie. You were quiet for the first half an hour because you're like, I'm not spoiling it. I'm not getting yelled at.
I would have just went for it.
Fuck that. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know you.
He
would've,
doesn't have to
James,
cut the
but-
goddamn review.
He can go in and bleep,
Not
bleep,
doing
bleep.
Okay.
3 hours later.
If you're new and Tenet is the first time that you're showing up on the channel, go back and watch all of our previous reviews. The funniest ones.
Dude, wrap it up, dude.
Boop boop.
I'm trying to like mute him and disable the video and nothing's working. I fucking hate this. Okay. Wear a mask. Be safe. We love you. Bye.
Bye.